So far we've looked at the epidermis and general functions of skin. So next we have the hypodermis, and again the hypodermis is technically not part of the skin, but rather the skin kind of rests on top of it. So here is the hypodermis, and the hypodermis is mostly made up of fat, so adipose tissue, and there's some loose connective tissue in there as well, but basically the point of it is to anchor the skin to underlying muscles and underlying tissues. A couple other names for it, we can also call it the subcutaneous tissue, so sub meaning under, cutaneous meaning skin, and then the superficial fascia. Fascia is connective tissue that lays over our muscles. So basically we're saying it's superficial. So there's a couple different names. Hypodermis means under the dermis. If you think about a hypodermic needle, that's going to go under your skin. So some other things we can talk about is skin color. And there's a couple different things that help determine skin color. So there is pigments, and this is going to be things like melanin, like we had talked about a little bit before. And melanin is, again, produced by melanocytes. And melanocytes are found in the stratum basale, where the mitosis is taking place. So melanin can be one of those. Again, we all have about the same number of those cells, but not all of our melanocytes are producing melanin all the time. We can also determine skin color by blood circulating through our skin. If you think about it, the pigmentation of our lips, for example, is a bit more red, simply because there's blood circulating through that area, and there's less layers of skin. Also, when your skin turns kind of a blue color, called cyanosis, that's because there's a decrease in the amount of oxygen in our blood. And then also, if you think about when you're angry, when you have inflammation, if you're blushing, you're emotional, you turn kind of red, and that's also because of blood circulation. So one of the other pigments then we could also say would be hemoglobin, because that is part of our blood. Finally, the thickness of your stratum corneum. Remember, these are the outermost layers of epidermal cells. Think about a callus on your hand or your foot or something, right, from using that region a lot. That callus is thicker, and so it kind of appears a different color, maybe a bit more whitish or opaque than other parts of your skin. And so a couple different things that can contribute to the color of your skin. In addition to skin, like we talked about, there's accessory structure. So we have nails that we're really not going to talk about, and then hair and glands. Hair we can see almost everywhere on the body except for the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet, the lips, the nipples, some parts of the external genitalia, and then the different sections of your fingers and toes, okay? The distal most sections typically don't have hair on them. And so otherwise we do find it all over the place, and we'll kind of talk about how that hair forms and what it looks like in a little bit. But hair will help to insulate the body. It helps with sunlight. If you think about, if you are in the sunlight and you don't have a hat on, does your scalp ever get kind of sunburned? I know that's happened to me. In addition to hair, we have glands, and we'll talk about some of these in a little bit more detail. But we do have sebaceous glands, which are oil glands. We have sweat glands. And then other type of glands like wax glands, ceruminous glands. This is like your earwax, for example.